Hey guys, it's Melanie here from Christian YA Books and More, and I am here to bring you guys a 10 bookish confessions tag. It's from Chantel over at Chantel Mary, and she is the original one who made it. It has questions though from other people's tags, which is kind of interesting. But I thought I would do it because she did tag me, and so yeah, I'll try this out. I have to look over here, of course, to the questions, so you don't mind. Okay, number one, do you or don't you borrow out your books? I have a huge confession to make. I don't like to borrow out my books. And the reason why is because I don't get them back. They're not responsible. I don't get them back. However, I do lend them out if I feel like they can benefit from the book, or I don't mind giving them away, or I know it's somebody I could trust to actually give it back to me and be responsible enough to do that. Otherwise, I feel so bad hounding somebody for my book back. But I am in the process of maybe doing some sort of borrowing and lending sort of issue thing through the church, and so that way they can have it and they can use it in the church setting, kind of like a little library. So I'm working on that idea, and that would be considered borrowing out my books. So yeah. Number two is, do you read only one book at a time or several? Okay, I read usually only one book at a time, and I prefer reading paperback. However, when I'm busy or I am just not totally determined on one book that I am particularly interested in, I will pick up multiple books just to try them out, test them out, and kind of have them on the back burner if one of them I lose interest in, and then I can pick up the other one. Also, I like audiobooks when I'm busy. So technically I'm reading 2 books at a time because I'll have an audiobook in the library running in the background while I'm doing dishes or I'm working on something. So I would say technically I'm reading 2 books at a time, but most often I'm only reading 1. So yeah, that's kind of a really neat question. 3, do you like a series to match or you don't care? I love series to match. Also, I really enjoy when they're really unique. Like, for example, we have here, see if I can pull them out. I've got Kristen McGee's, I want to say Luminary, but it's not that. It's Anomaly series. She has an amazing, cool binding here. It's really cool. Just the design itself. It's not only matching, but it's actually extremely unique, and they're very cool, and I really appreciate that. When it has this, I am down with it. It is so nice, so beautiful, and awesome to look at. It's very pleasing to the eye, aesthetically on your shelf. So I'm very happy when books do this, and they've got a really good designer who can pull it off. And the, oh no, it's going to mess everything up. So anyways, and then number 4, do you skip and read to the end? Not normally, no. Even if I don't like it, if I just, you know, stop reading it altogether, I won't even read the end just because I'm that disinterested in the book. So no, I don't. Number 5, little or thick books. I prefer medium books, and there's no option for that on here, but I do love thicker books depending on the author. Because some, if I'm not aware of their writing or their writing style, and I feel like it's a very daunting task or very difficult for me to read, then of course I don't like a thick book, but I prefer a littler book in the sense that if it's a new author or something where I know they can write well in a little book, then I probably would prefer it. However, I just think middle, the average for each genre and you know, book, I would prefer middle book. I don't even know if that matters, but yeah. If it's a big book and it's Julie Clausen, I would read it no problem and wouldn't even look at how big it is. But with most other books, I'd probably be deterrent if it was too thick or too little. Medium. And number 6 is, how often do you write book reviews? I write for every single book I read practically, besides children's books, although I've done a few of those. But I don't always put them on my blog. I've been very bad for that. And some book reviews that I've done have been from like Revel, and they prefer it on your blog. However, I will either post it on here or I will put it on Goodreads. So I actually write a review for every single one of the books that I read. Where that review lies is different. So it could be Goodreads, it's always Goodreads, my blog, or on Amazon and things like that. I'll also review books there. How often, so we're on number, 7. Your worst cliche in a book, probably the love triangle. Yeah, I really don't like that. And 8 is how do you arrange your books? Well, I have a confession to make. Before this video, I made this video, I looked at my shelf going, wait a minute, how do I organize these books? I work in a library, so it's kind of important that they were alphabetically ordered. So I went ahead and changed that. So I don't know if I can zoom in. Hold on just one sec. I can't, so on this side here, I've got, they're by genre, and we have all of my suspense books here, and I put them in alphabetical order. Then I've got contemporary here, and they're in alphabetical order. Then I have historical fiction, and they're also in alphabetical order. And then we get retellings, fairy tale retellings, which is also historical fiction. Then we get science fiction, which is right here. Then as we move, sorry, I have to move over. As we move into this section of my bookshelf right here, we have, so we're gonna go, it's dystopian, but this is actually fiction. It's under the umbrella of fiction, dystopian. So I would consider this all fiction. And so we have dystopian, and this one here is actually just labeled fiction. Sorry, fantasy. I want to say fantasy. This is all fantasy. I apologize. And so dystopian is under fantasy. And this book is rated just like labeled just fantasy, but it would be under the same umbrella of dystopian, so I put them all together in alphabetical order. So that's that. Woo, close up. Okay, and hopefully I can get this going. Sorry, guys. The rest is a big mess, and I'm not even gonna go into it. I will do maybe a like a shelf tour another time, but again, I can't edit, so you guys have to deal with me all focusing in and out and all weird and stuff. And yeah, it would be tough for me to do that. I also got an someone requested a video for me to put up all the books I read over the year and my ratings for them, but that was just extremely too hard to do because of the fact that I do not have an editing software that I really want right now. I'm kind of debating through a couple different ones of them, so I'm still not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with that, so I've left that out. Yeah, so I also, oh, we're still doing this, I forgot. Number 9, so number 8 was how do you arrange your books, we figured that out. Number 9, favorite place to buy books would be Amazon or discount stores or something, cheap. And then number 10, Kindle or paperback. I always prefer paperback, so most of you guys know that. Sorry for the kids in the background, and I am pretty much all done, and I hope you guys have a great day and reading time. I hope you guys can find a little nook and read something really inspiring. I also want to just take Angela at Coffee and Chapters, Sara Ella if she's up for videos. I know she's writing her books right now, Emma at CreateExploreReads, and Grace Morris. Also, anybody else that wants to do this tag. I think Chantel did a really good job on these questions, and I'm so thankful that she tagged me. Bye, guys!